Yoga for everybody with Meditation Mutha.
Hi everyone, this is Kim Goyette, your Meditation Mutha, coming to you live from Austin, Texas. Well, I don't know about you, but today is a beautiful fall day here, and as the weather gets a little bit cooler and a little bit drier, I notice I get a little bit more crackly in my joints. My hips, my knees, everything's kind of popping and so on. And sometimes I find that I need a little bit more preparation before I get into my yoga practice. Today, I thought that we could focus on wrists in preparation for doing down dog. For some of us, down dog is very easy, and for some, it's a challenge. Some people call it a rest pose, but I don't, because my forearms and so on, my hands, they're always feeling very drained. So I thought we could focus on warming up a little bit and then showing some helpers that might help you engage your hands a little bit more so that your forearms and wrists don't surrender to any discomfort during down dog. So let's start by tuning in. We'll close the eyes. Invite the breath in a little more fully. Expanding the lungs, the ribs on the inhale. Softening the shoulders away from the ears on the exhale. And just take a moment, scan your body, noticing where there may be any tension or congestion, and just making note. Good. Bring the hands to heart center. Bow the mind to the heart. Gently open the eyes, release the hands. So we'll start with just a little movement for the wrists to warm them up. Circling the hands. Good, just getting a little bit of movement there in one direction. Good, let's try it in the opposite direction, going around. So anytime that you have some challenges with your joint, it might just be that you need to give it a little bit of attention. We're focusing on the wrists and forearms and hands today, but the same thing goes for the hips, the knee joint, shoulders, elbows, all the above, ankles. So wherever you need attention, you just focus a little bit of awareness. So we're going to start to flex and then point the hands. Flex, spread the fingertips out nice and wide, and then point them down. Good. One more time. Flex the palms up and down. Good. Let's take the backs of the hands towards each other so they come together at the wrists, and we're just going to press a little bit and then drop the elbows gently. You might feel a nice opening on the top of the hand, on the top of the wrist. Just take a few breaths here. Good. This time we'll do it in reverse. So we'll take the wrists, one on top of the other, opposite hands, and just press one hand down, one hand up, opening up the forearm. Good. This might feel really good for some people that do a lot of typing. And we'll do the opposite hand, pushing in and down, opening up that wrist and the forearm as well. Good. From here, just circling it around, releasing any tension or energy. So we'll take it over to hands and knees for just a moment. You can come to kneeling if you need a blanket underneath your knees, you can. I like to come to sit back a little bit. We're going to turn the fingertips so that they face towards our knees. Plant the wrist down. So you may have to lean forward generously, especially if your wrists are tight. So lean forward. Press your finger pads into the mat and then start to sit back just until the edge of sensation, never pain. So I feel this pretty generously right now. I'm just going to stay here for several breaths. My forearms get tight. I think it runs in the family. And so I like to do this before I do any hand plants or anything like that to help open up the wrists, relax the muscles of the forearms. We're going to be here for several breaths. So in the meantime, what you can do is lift the head up on an inhale and then relax the head, tuck the chin. On an exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale, lift the head, open up the throat. Exhale, relax the back of the neck, soften the face. Good, one more time, inhale. And exhale, head back to neutral. So now we're gonna scoot back just a little bit and slowly peel the heel of our hand off. So keep the fingers where they are. The heel comes up. Ooh, I really feel an opening. Slowly coming off. Good, relax and roll. Release any tension in the wrist. Good. This time we're going to do the opposite. Fingertips point towards me, but the back of the hand is on the earth. Good. And then we'll do the same thing. Sit back towards your heels, opening up the top of the wrist into the top of the forearm. Relax your fingers. Good. And then this time, just tilt your head over to one side and then the other. Just warming up the neck a little bit. Good, you can make circles with your head. And opposite direction. And come back to center. Sit back towards your heels. Slowly peel the top of the wrist off the mat. And then open up. Good. So when we plant our hands mindfully, oftentimes we're able to take the pressure off our wrists when we do hand plants. And so what I'd like for us to focus on is just the position and mindfulness of the hand. So when we plant our hands just on hands and knees, we'll practice here. Spread the fingertips nice and wide, and then press the finger pad of each finger, the tip of each finger into your mat. As soon as you do that, you might feel the center of your palm lift up. And that's a good sign because that means that your hands are engaged and the wrist is supported. So stay here, and this is how it should be when we do down dog, when we do handstand, any of those hand plants there. So now start to push your pointer finger and the rest of your fingers forward and notice the difference where the energy moves. Good, so we're doing it isometrically. Your hand's not actually moving, but isometrically the fingertips are down and the energy is moving forward. Notice where the sensation moves. Does it come out from the wrist, away from the wrist? Let's try to curl the toes for just a moment and hover our knees maybe an inch off the mat. Push down and forward. Continue. Lift the hips up towards the sky. Lengthen the arms. Push down and forward. Pointer finger, pinky finger, thumb, all moving down and forward into the mat. There should be a little bit of space in the palm of the hand. So I'm taking that energy away from the wrist and I'm moving it up into the forearm and down into the hand. Drop the heels, lengthen into down dog. Look in between the legs. Relax the back of the legs, relax the back of the neck. Good. Continue that sensation, pushing down and forward with the hands. Press those finger pads. Engage the thumb, engage the pinky. And then come back down to rest, hands and knees. Good. Sit back towards the heel. Rotate the wrists. Nice. So during a traditional class, if you're taking a public class with a group, you can stop anytime and do those stretches that we did before. So if that seemed like a lot for you, you can bring the backs of the hands together or the palms or rotate, whatever feels right for you today. I often break when I'm doing hand plants because I need that rest in the forearms to help me. But preparation, like we did before, will really also help assist you to make it through the class. The other option when people do down dog, if it's too much for your wrist or you have an injury, is to do a forearm down dog. So we spread the fingertips nice and wide. We come down to the forearms. The forearms are planted. We do the same sensation with the hands. So the fingertips press into the mat and then they push forward. Curl the toes and then hop the knees up. Push down and forward with the forearms. Look in between the legs. Good, lift the hips. So this has totally taken my wrists out of the equation. It's a great option. And release all the way down. Slowly come up. And another option is fists. So fists are awesome because they're not hyperextending the forearms. For me, my forearms get really tight from typing or driving. Everything's kind of closed in this way. And so that open hand and the pressure with the hand sometimes can be too much for me, and I often go with fists. So from here, you would bring your fists towards the earth. Good. And then feel really stable in those wrists. Really ground down at the tops of the fingers. Curl the toes. Lift up and then push back. Look in between the legs. Push down and forward with the fist. Same direction. Good. One more deep breath here. And exhale, come all the way down. And some people like to use blocks on the flat side. I always mention to be extra careful because sometimes the blocks slide, but that's also a good option. Sometimes it feels good to have the heel of your hand hanging off the edge of the block so then you can push down and forward and it takes the pressure off your wrist. One more option, which I absolutely love, is wide-legged down dog. So when you do wide-legged down dog, the pressure reaches back towards the legs as opposed to in the wrist. So watch this. We're doing a traditional down dog. Curl the toes, lift the hips. I'm going to separate the feet just a little bit. So I do feel this in my hands and my wrists, even though I'm pressing with the fingers, activating. But as soon as I step really wide off the mat, I can lift my hips more, and it takes all that energy away from the wrists and brings it back towards the legs. My heels are heavy, and it really is so much more comfortable for me. So this is an excellent option in order to save those wrists. Let's bring the feet back to center. Come back down to hands and knees. Sit back towards the heels. Good. We're going to come to seated and just do one more stretch, which I absolutely love for the entire arm. From here, take your right arm, reach it all the way up, and then exhale, flex the hand, come down. You might feel a big opening from the palm of the hand all the way up the arm, and then tilt your head over to the left shoulder. Relax both shoulders away from the ears. This can be a pretty big opening. Notice my hand is hovering above the floor. My palm is flexed and I'm pushing down with that hand. Good. Tuck your chin and roll it more towards your left shoulder. I'm opening up the whole side of the neck into the arm, all the way down through the palm. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. One more deep breath here. Slowly bring the head back to center and relax. And let's try the opposite side. So same thing, left arm rises up, flex the palm, take it all the way down until you feel sensation. For me, it's right away. Tilt the head over to the opposite side, drop that shoulder down away from the ears. Press isometrically with that left hand. Fingertips separate, palm down. Good. Take a deep breath into that space. This is pretty intense for some, for me especially. Tuck the chin towards your right shoulder this time. Open up the side of the neck. And release all the way down. Very good. Let's just do one more wrist roll. Opposite direction, just letting everything go. So these exercises can be done before yoga practice or after, or just on their own, just in preparation for typing, driving, whatever it might be in your day. Let's take it all the way down onto our backs. We'll scoot forward, slowly lower all the way down, lengthen the legs below us. Good. And just allow the chest to soften. You can flip the palms open towards the sky. And take another moment to scan your body. Noticing any movement of energy, any heat or tingling. And just take a few breaths into this moment. Allow yourself to soften. Enjoying this time for yourself. Bringing your awareness to your wrists and arms. Offering some appreciation to that area of your body or another area that really needs it. And let's begin to move the ankles and wrists, waking up the toes and fingers. We can stretch the arms overhead. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, reach, extend. Exhale. Hug the knees into the chest. We'll make our way over to one side and all the way up to seated. So, last but not least, if our body is feeling a little cranky, like today we worked with wrists, but you might be working with your hips or other joints, we're going to send a sign and heartfelt gratitude to those incredible body parts that might need a little extra love and attention, and we're going to send that to them. So today we'll work with the wrists and arms, but you can plop in any language that you want. Let's close the eyes, relax the hands in the lap. Good. Soften the shoulders, relax the belly. Bring your awareness to your hands, to your wrists and forearms. And take this moment to thank those precious parts of your body for showing up every day, for allowing you to touch, to feel, to experience that sense, to hug and love. So grateful. Doing your job every day tirelessly. So much appreciation. And let's take the hands to heart center and start to rub the palms pretty vigorously. You might start to feel some heat in that area. Good. Continue a little bit longer than you might want. Really generating, livening up the energy in the hands, in the arms. And then from here, right palm on the heart, left palm over it, and just notice the sensation. Take a deep inhale of gratitude for this vessel that you chose to be in. Beautiful arms, wrists, hands, fingers to embrace and love and experience this life. Then bring your hands to heart center, bowing the mind to the heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm Kim Goyette, your meditation mother. If you like this video and you want to be the first to receive weekly videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Yoga with Meditation Mutha. See you next time.